Tree Talking Time is brought to you by Conkeys Outdoors. Get all your hound hunting needs at conkeys.com. Welcome to Tree Talking Time, where we talk all things tree dogs, from the smallest fights to the largest hounds, treating squirrels to bears and everything in between. And from time to time, we might even run a little fast game. I am here today at the Hatchie River Youth Hunters Expo, and I've got some of the guys that are putting this on. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
All right, my name is Jimmy Weaver.
And my name is Anthony Landreth.
And kind of why don't you guys explain what we got going on here today?
Well, you know, what kind of brought this on, me and Anthony, we went to police academy, like I said, 41 years ago, and we shared a room together, and we didn't have a lot to do, and we would lay in our bunks at night and talk about hunting back home on the Hatchie River.
Yeah.
And we'd talk about all the things that we thought about as kids, the good times and what we learned from our parents and the different people that carried us hunting. And, you know, and here the past year, you know, we've done events for kids on a smaller scale. But this past year, I got to reflecting back, you know, I've lost a lot of hunting buddies.
Yeah.
Yes, we have. I've lost 3 this year.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yes.
And, you know, when I got to thinking about it, I was coon hunting one night by myself, and I got to thinking about the memories, you know, thinking about the vivid memories that I've enjoyed hearing tree dogs, tree at night, squirrel dogs tree, seeing a rooster, pheasant cackle when they come off the ground, and swamp rabbits running from beagle. And I got to thinking about all these memories, and I got to thinking about there's so many kids that are not getting to enjoy that.
For sure.
And then I got to thinking about the people that have died and gone on, and I said to myself, who's filling those spots? Mm-hmm. So I got to thinking about putting something on a bigger scale, and the first person I thought about was Anthony, because he does the Tennessee Outdoors and does
Tennessee Outside.
Tennessee Outside, and does Southern Woods and Waters.
Okay.
And you know, he has these radio shows and stuff, and Anthony is in my mind a wildlife biologist. He knows everything about animals. I mean, he's really intelligent. And we got to thinking and knocking around, and we just put a cast of people together. Anthony just choose people that grew up along the Hatchie River.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so we just kind of put it together, and it started growing. Me and Anthony started putting it on his Facebook show and stuff, and man, it just grew.
Well, you came on the show, you know, you've been on there twice, Jim, and talked about it. And, of course, anybody that knows us, you know, one thing he was talking about when he was in the police academy, a lot of the guys from East Tennessee and some of the instructors, they would always come talk to us because at that time, this county was like the mecca of Tennessee for deer hunting. It wasn't that much, you know, in East Tennessee. So, man, they all wanted to talk to us like, man, because they just couldn't believe all the deer we had down here.
It was kind of like we were the Michael Waddell and Cuz Strickland, you know, the police academy.
That's right, yeah.
Because we would tell the stories, and they would sit in our dorm room to late at night.
Of course, we had the only TV in there.
Yeah, we did. We had Anthony he had the only TV in the whole building, but we would sit and talk about hunting for hours.
Yeah.
And some of these guys never even been in the woods in their life.
Another thing that surprises me, you know, the thing a lot of them would bring up says, man, tell us about those cottonmouths y'all got. You know, they've got rattlesnakes all over this state, but they was terrified of cottonmouths in West Tennessee.
See, where I live, we don't have any of it, so it's very rare to see a venomous snake where I live. So
really?
I don't like any of them.
You know, they just looked at us like we were kind of a ghost. I mean, you know, you guys walking these Hatchie River bottoms you talk about with all these snakes. And,
That's
you know,
right.
we don't think anything about fishing and hunting, you know, around snakes. I mean, we just look at them as neighbors. So we don't, you know, somebody asked me on one of the shows one time, said, aren't you scared of the snakes? And I tell them, I don't look for them.
You're crazy in my opinion.
I mean, it's so many of them down there. You know, I tell people I'm in some of these snakes groups on Facebook, and, you know, they don't realize it, but cottonmouths around here is a dime a dozen. I mean, you know, yeah, you got to just be mindful of them, but most times you don't mess with them, you walk right by them. They're not even going to move.
Yeah.
But still, you need to be aware
mindful,
of them.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, but, you know, we started out, Mr. Ben, we was going to give like one deer hunt away, a guided deer hunt.
Yeah.
and then we put it out, and then before you knew it, somebody else started donating another guided deer hunt. And then we had taxidermists get on board and say, I tell you what, I'll donate a shoulder mount to go with that deer hunt.
Man.
Yeah.
So
then your pin mounts, and then the processor gets involved. Hey, I'll donate a free processing.
That's awesome.
You know, so, and I mean, I'm with the Brad Deming Memorial Bicycle Fund, and we're giving away a lifetime license today.
Okay.
You know,
and
I mean,
that's $1,000 in Tennessee.
That's $1,000 in Tennessee right there.
Man.
I cut it off at 12 because once at 13, they're like $2,000.
Okay.
So you know, and then we started, you know, working. Me being from the tree dog side of it, you know, we started having. I wanted to have a kid get his own coon hound.
Yeah.
And as I'll talk today, and you know, people ask me what this Coke bottle's about. My first good coon hound was bought by saving Coke bottles and selling Coke bottles.
Yeah.
And
most of these kids wouldn't even know what that means.
No, they wouldn't even think. I mean, to them, that's an old trash. But back when me and Anthony was kids, that's
how you got your spending money.
Yeah.
You went around and you picked up Coke bottles.
Yeah, and I saved those Coke bottles.
A little different today, but my son's sitting here. He's been crushing cans all summer, and we're about to go cash in some aluminum cans.
Hey, same version,
Yes,
just different
exactly.
product. That's right.
Yep.
It sure is.
And
Glass to aluminum.
Exactly. You know, when I was it was hard for me to come by my first coonhound pup. Mm-hmm. You know, I was from a poor family, and you know, when I worked and hauled hay and I made money and I bought my first good coonhound. And you know, and I thought about these young people, you know, how I would like to get a hound or a hunting tree dog into their hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then I had a friend, Mark Summerall, with Schooner River Kennels, and he donated the first pup. So we had the kids to start writing essays and sending them in and sending me or talking to them on the phone, talking about coon hunting.
I like that. Instead of just picking some random kid, you made them do some work.
Yeah, they had to talk to me. Some of the kids would prefer to talk to me than they had write, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I talked to each one of these kids, and I looked at their background. I looked, is somebody going to take them to the woods? Mm-hmm. Is this a family that's going to try to sell the dog 2 weeks from now?
Yep.
You know, so I had to put all that stuff in consideration. So we had so as of today, we've got 3 hound pups given away and a mountain cur squirrel dog.
Nice.
How many hunts we got, Jim? 15 or more?
15 or more. I mean, we've
hunts
got
to give away today.
Rabbit hunts. We got some guided squirrel hunts with some of the best squirrel dogs in this part of the country.
Nice.
And I mean, and I've been with some of them. You, Jim, we've made TV shows with them, taking several, 7 or 8 kids and filming that.
Yeah.
That is some of the best shows we've ever done.
Oh, I bet.
It is, because Alan Lusford is the guy that always done them. And, I mean, it's very safe. I mean, the kids, they could walk around, couldn't have a shell in their gun until it was time to shoot.
Yeah.
And he'd have a laser pointer up there. But now, once he missed, it was always a backup. And I'm going to tell you, in one morning, I bet we shot. Well, not we. I wasn't shooting. I was filming 200 shells. So it was it was good, clean fun.
It was organized. You know, you have your primary shooter and your backup.
Yeah.
And
Well, it started out though, Jim. I mean, it was a safety meeting, a prayer every morning when the sun's coming up, and then we go hunt.
Yeah.
And
couldn't get no better.
And if you take a child that says, I don't see the squirrel, like Lancey said, he would take his laser pointer and he'd go up the tree, said, follow it.
Yep.
And then he'd put it right on the squirrel, and the kid said, oh my God, I see it. And then he'd get excited and he'd say, all right, shoot. And then he'd tell the other kid, you're the backup. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just organized. And then once they started shooting, it was a free-for-all then.
Yeah, because a lot of times squirrels would take off running we hadn't even seen yet. So then, boy, it would be, it was a lot of fun.
And it was just a lot of fun. I mean, and, we got, like I said, we got rabbit hunts. We've got a wild hog hunt given away on a lease in Oklahoma from a guy that notified us to 2 adults and kids.
Yeah.
A bow fishing trip.
Man.
The guys that donated the bow fishing trip, I went with them. And Courtney Smalley, she's going to be a guest speaker tonight. And those 2 guys at one time had 2 state records and a world record at the time we went bow fishing with them.
That's pretty
cool.
cool.
And we made a real good show out of that. And one of my buddies that was with me, he was filming it too. He was one of them that passed away this year, J.R. Sweat. But I just got to say something about Jim. Jim's very humble because he's been doing stuff like this. And, last couple of years, he's got a group together out by his farm, teaches kids how to build a fire, gives them a compass, teaches them how to read a compass, carries them
Yeah.
in the bottom at night. So Jim, he don't blow his own horn a lot, but I mean, he does a lot.
Yeah,
for
because when I
kids.
called you, you told me this started out. That's how this started out. Is you used to just take a group of kids coon hunting, right? Mm-hmm. And how many kids were you taking?
25 to 30 at a time.
Yeah.
That's a job.
You know, and you know, like I said, I was telling you earlier, you know, we would get out and we had a young child that got out in the woods here a few years ago and got away from his grandmother and died in the
Yes.
woods. It was unfortunate.
And it was so close to being caught, you know, to being found.
Yeah.
And, you know, at that time I was having a knee replacement. And even though I was thinking, I know the woods, I need to be there.
Yeah.
I need to be there. And, you know, and then when I take these group of kids out, I take them and I give them a walking stick and I show them how to make SOS, how to make an arrow in the dirt pointing in the direction they're going.
Yeah.
Just something simple like that could teach a kid something that could actually have the life saved.
Yep.
It's actual next level that most people wouldn't even think about, you know. But to Jim, it's just second nature to all of us, really. You know, that's the way we grew up.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up you know, we see so many times on these podcasts people are looking for dogs for deer and drones for deer. Me and Anthony was growing up. We read the woods.
That's
you know?
right.
We I shot a deer opening day of deer season, and I started looking at the leaves and I found it right away. I knew exactly where I could follow them through the woods.
But that being said, we're not knocking the people that do have to call for
no,
dogs.
we're not
and drones.
knocking it. But
I think it's a good thing that they do wind up finding
yeah,
the
for
animal.
sure.
You know?
whatever source they
Yes.
have to use. But it's just to us. It's what I'm saying. It's a second nature.
But there's definitely a loss of woodsmanship that's come with technology and just
It
people
is.
are not in the woods.
Yeah.
You guys grew up in the woods.
That's right.
Where people today, they have to make a concerted effort to get out there. So it's not second nature to a lot of people.
The sad thing is, you know, I did some research on one of our shows back last year, and it's only 5% of the people in the United States hunt anymore. 5%. That's it. So
That's
you're
it,
talking
man.
17, 18 million people. For 20 years ago, that number was around 10%. But then you go over in Europe, 60% of the people right now hunt.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't realize that. That was so high over there.
Yeah, I did not either. And one of the guys that's going to speak today, Ricky Hoot Hazelgrove, he goes to the schools and he talks to kids about hunting and stuff like that. And he's been doing it for, gosh, I know at least 30, 35 years. He said he'd go into a school and he'd say, how many of y'all hunt? And he said, 30, 40% or more would raise their hand. This year he went into a school, out of like 500 kids in there, 6 people.
Wow.
That's it. So.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we're doing this.
That's right.
I mean, we're pushing it, trying to get people involved. And just with a small effort that we put forth, hopefully, hey, if we can get 30 kids hunting.
That's never hunted before.
Oh, that's success.
It's an uphill battle. You got to get their
for
parents
sure.
involved,
Yeah.
and especially if it's, I know I went at a TWRA meeting and because they was wanting to take away the Jake, couldn't kill no Jakes here.
Okay.
And so I got up and spoke. They let the public get up and speak, and not that, it's nothing wrong with shooting a Jake. I've killed my fair share of them, years ago. But, you take a kid that goes off to college, his parents never hunted, and he gets to meet some buddies there, and they want to take him turkey hunting. Well, his first experience, they call it 5 Jakes. He can't kill one. But if he can kill one, then they've got a hunter for life now, just about.
Yeah,
I don't care. When you kill your first turkey, you don't just kill one turkey and don't turkey hunt no more.
Yeah.
And so they took that rule back. And so they made it where you could still shoot one.
Good.
So, but I know we're getting a little off track here, but it's all about kids,
Yeah.
and that's just one of the things that we do to try to get them involved. But man, Jim does the best job out of anybody I know. He does.
Having grandkids makes it special because,
Yeah.
you spend time with them. And I learned during Sunday school and with kids in church, I can get down on, at 6'6", I can get down on their level and help them understand. And that's what it's all about. To me, what charges my batteries when I carry a kid at nighttime and they look at, like I was talking about the people at the police academy, they look at me and Anthony. They look at us like a hero. Wow, this guy knows his way around the woods. How did you find your way back here?
Yeah.
How did you know this? Mm-hmm. And and these kids, they don't forget that kind of stuff. So when they ask that question, we've got to make sure we take the time to teach them the way we were taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
And everything's fast paced nowadays. It's hurry up and get the quick version.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to take my time and watch these kids and tell them, the last group that I carried, I made sure that they knew we were standing. What they didn't know when I was speaking to them, we were probably 100 yards from where I almost drowned in 1982.
Oh, wow.
And to me, it was surreal because I was standing there knowing that spot was right there, and I was looking at it. So I made a point to talk to them about water.
Yeah.
How to stay away from the water, how to not cross the water, So you don't know. That may save a kid's life.
Oh, that's right.
You just never know.
Especially in cold temperatures.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can only fight it. And it was 20 degrees the night I almost drowned, and I almost gave up. Mm. I almost gave up. I come up, everybody says third time is it. I came up for the third time, and I went down. And then something just told me, you don't have to die here. And, man, I fought with everything I had in me.
Yeah.
And I came out. And that's what I try to teach these kids. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Mm. Well, I know you guys are busy this morning. We're going to hopefully have a great day here and give a lot of stuff away to these kids.
Well, it just blows my mind how much stuff it is to give away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Roger come in a while ago, got a lot of stuff to give away for the adults. It's mostly about kids, but, the adults, in my opinion, they deserve something for bringing the kid here,
So, just the hunts alone, Anthony, we've probably got $20,000.
I would say probably
$25,000, $30,000 hunts.
Yeah, I'd say more than that probably.
Yeah.
And thousands of dollars of stuff just to give away.
And taxidermy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, because the shoulder mount around here now, it's about $600, I guess.
Yeah. Don't let my wife know about that.
Yeah, I hear you.
She still thinks they're $50.
Yeah, I bet. I'll have a talk with Rick.
You better not speak too loudly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no joke.
Well, I appreciate you guys sitting down with me today, and I'm looking forward to this.
Well, Ben, I really appreciate you talking to us, Ben. Yep. It means a lot, you coming from as far away as you are to talk to us.
Where did you come from?
Southeast Pennsylvania.
Oh, gosh. I was
It was a 14-hour drive yesterday.
Yeah, I was at Harrisburg at the Great American Outdoor Show.
That's about an hour and a half from my house.
2 years in a row up there, and I tell you, man, I've never seen nothing like that. Yep. I think it goes on for, 9 days or something like that?
It's from Saturday to the following Sunday.
Yeah, because I went, I think I stayed the first 5 days. I worked a booth up there, and I was just blown away.
Yeah.
Just the nonstop.
Yep.
And I throw us for Conkey's Outdoors. They even supported us. They sent a gift certificate.
Good deal. Yeah, Conkey's is my sponsor. They're a big reason why I'm here.
Well, Conkey sent us a gift certificate. Good people.
Well, we appreciate you coming down West Tennessee for this. I had people message me last night, said they was driving 2 hours to here. And, to me, I thought that's pretty good. But, it's been people from Ohio and, several different states. Yeah. So I hope they show up.
Yeah.
I sure do.
Well, Ben, come down and go coon hunting with us sometime.
We'll have to, for sure.
Conkey's Outdoors is proud to be a sponsor of Tree Talking Time. Family, hunting, tradition is the Conkey's motto. They understand the importance of passing down the tradition of hound hunting. They are a family-owned business that treats you like family. They also understand the importance of having the gear you need when you need it. Conkey's carries everything for your next hunt, and it ships to your door quick. They also offer great warranties on all tracking systems and financing options. Check them out at conkeys.com. You can also use the code TreeTalkingTime5 in all caps to save as well. What you're going to hear next is 3 short interviews with the kids that won coonhound puppies. What originally started as giving away 1 coonhound puppy ended up being 3 coonhound puppies and a mountain curs. And honestly, Mr. Jimmy could have given away many more from all the entrants he had, and even interest from coonhound guys that wanted to give puppies. But Mr. Jimmy wasn't going to give those puppies just to anybody. He wanted to make sure that the kids that got them not only were capable of taking those dogs to the woods, but had the support at home to do it as well. So he really did a good job of making sure those kids had the support they needed.
and that they were those hound puppies were going to go to good homes. So here's those interviews. All right, so what's your name?
Branch.
And what's your dad's name?
Walker.
All right, and you just won what?
A treeing Walker coon dog.
And do you like to coon hunt?
Yes, sir.
You do? Does your dad coon hunt?
Not really.
Not really?
No, I've coon hunted in the past.
Okay.
And, me and a couple of my friends, we just never really had a good experience out of any coon hunt we ever went on.
Like a good coon dog? You never had a really good one?
Well, everybody said their dogs were really good.
Yeah.
And then we chased them all night and lost sleep and lost dogs. And I told them one time, I said, guys, if we can get back to the truck, I'm done.
I understand. So,
but he's been after me about a pup, and, he wanted this one, and spoke to Jimmy, and I told him, I was like, no, I don't think we're interested. We're just too many irons in the fire.
I understand.
And he kept on and on. So
Mr. Jimmy came and helped you out, didn't he?
I told him, I was like, well, it's okay, but you're gonna have to work for it and help me and take care of him, and it's gonna be a learning experience for both of us.
There you go. Got any big plans for the pup? What's his name?
Max.
Max. Got any big plans for him?
I'm hoping I can get him trained coons in the next couple months, because my neighbor has a coon problem, because he had his dog, wasn't even a coon dog, and it treed a coon.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to catch it so I could take the hide off of it and use it to train my coon dog.
Nice.
That one had a coon dog. It was a blue tick. He could never.
That one? Is that your brother?
Yes, sir.
That one.
He didn't.
Brotherly love.
Yes.
He didn't ever feed it. I had to go out there every day, feed the coon. And
A
it
coon?
was
You had a coon? Or a coon dog?
the dog. And it started getting on my nerves. So we took it hunting one day, and it was just sniffing around everywhere.
Well, I appreciate you sitting down, man. Good luck with that pup.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm happy to be here.
What's your name?
Zadie Jackson.
Zadie? And what did you just win, Zadie?
A blue tick puppy?
Did you know you were going to win a blue tick puppy?
No,
You didn't?
no.
Why did you want to win a blue tick puppy? Well, a puppy.
Because I love to squirrel hunt, coon hunt, any kind of hunting.
Okay. Does your dad or mom coon hunt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, my dad did for a while.
Yeah. What kind of dogs did your dad have?
Just beagles.
Okay. So what made you want to put in for a coon dog puppy?
Because I wanted to go coon hunting.
Okay.
And, yeah.
And what are you going to call your pup? Do you know yet?
Charlie.
Charlie? There you go. So we got any big plans for Charlie?
Well, I'm going to take him to the pen where we can get him trained.
Yeah. Mr. Jeremy Garner's pen?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, he does a real good job with puppies. If I lived close, I'd put every puppy I had through his pen. So Charlie's gonna have a good head start, that's for sure. Have you ever been coon hunting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about it?
Well, we went coon hunting when Daddy had coon dogs. He had one or two, and we went coon hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Mama, and Daddy went. And we got ready to shoot the coon, and my gun jammed up.
Uh-oh. That's not good. So what'd you do after your gun jammed up?
Had to go home and fix it.
Didn't have a backup, huh?
Mm-mm.
So, alrighty. Got anything else you want to talk about? Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So what's your name?
Drake.
Drake? And what'd you just win?
Coon dog.
Coon hound puppy?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a train walker?
I think so.
Yeah. You excited?
Mm-hmm.
Do you coon hunt?
I used to, but stopped. Now I'm getting back into it.
Okay. Who do you coon hunt with?
My uncle.
Your uncle? That's fun. How old's your pup?
3 months old.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I know some of them were one was a little older, so. You excited? Good deal. What's your best coon hunting story since you've coon hunted before?
When I was a little kid,
Yeah.
we had to climb up a big hill just to get to the coon dogs.
Yeah. How old were you?
I think it was maybe 5 or 6.
Okay. So you were young when you got started. Good deal. All righty. Anything else you want to say about your coonhound puppy?
Might try to get her to where she'll walk right beside me.
Got a good handle. Good deal. Well, I appreciate you sitting down with me, Drake.
All righty.
We're a few weeks here after the Hatchie River Youth Hunters Expo, and I just kind of wanted to hear from you, Mr. Jimmy, kind of your thoughts on the event and how it went.
Well, we're really satisfied, from what we anticipated. We were looking to hopefully get 50 to 75 kids, and that we're going to be really satisfied with that. And, the best count that we could get, we probably had around, I'm going to say between 130 and 150 kids that came in overall for the event. Several came in and left, and some came back. And so we had a great turnout. We really had a lot more than what we anticipated, and we're really satisfied with it.
Yeah, the venue is absolutely beautiful, but I don't think you're going to be able to hold it there for much longer.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that we were, next year we were trying to shoot for getting it earlier in the year to where we could open the big barn doors and move some of it outside, and we had some of the keynote speaker that we wanted to get, Mr. Parrish Elliott, a CBNS custom game calls. He's going to come down and speak to the kids, and we just couldn't get him locked in at the same time.
Yeah.
And so we ended up having to get it for November the 1st, which it won't be as cold, but it'll still be kind of chilly. But like I said, I had a lot of people tell me that, you may outgrow your venue before it's over with.
That's for sure. I mean, like I said, it's a beautiful venue, but on a cold day, we were pretty packed in there.
Oh yeah, we were. It was, and a lot of people, just a lot of what they don't realize in the pictures that were taken, there was a lot of kids sitting in the balcony area above that you couldn't even see, and they were all sitting around. I mean, and then it's hard to get kids in the same spot because we had kids outside ripping and running and playing, and even had football games going on out there. It was just a good time overall. It really was. It
was a great day, and I really commend you and your team that you put together, putting that event on, especially for being the first one that you've held. It was tremendous. Yeah. I kind of thought that when I walked in, seeing all the prep work and everything that had already went into it, but after the event was done and everything, how it all went out, went together, and you guys did a tremendous job.
It takes a lot of work. I used to hold police canine seminars. When in my former life, I was a police officer for almost 20 years, and I trained police dogs, and and I had people from all over the United States come, and a lot of people don't understand what type of preparation goes into putting on an event and trying to make sure everything is prepared and on point. And every time you have an event, you always learn something. You take notes of how you would like to do things different and things you'd like to do different the next time around. And that's what makes it good. You learn from your mistakes and expand on what things went good. So I believe we're going to really do good this next year.
No, I think it'll, for years to come, this event is going to be one of the premier youth events in the country. And anybody that looks to hold a youth event, honestly, I would tell them to reach out to you and see what you're doing right, because, man, you guys did a fantastic job.
Well, I had people come up after the event that contacted me and my buddy Anthony, and people from Alabama and East Middle Tennessee, and they said, we would love to hire you to come to our area and put on an event. And, and I told them, I said, we're not for hire. We do this for free. And that was one thing that the people couldn't really grasp it, is we didn't charge for anything.
No.
And, you know, everything was absolutely free, and all the door prizes were donated. You know, we got out, and man, people just, you know, the one thing that kind of caught me by surprise is we didn't have a lot of the outdoor, like the gun shops and stuff. Everybody else was willing to donate, but when, you know, I don't think that the gun shops and the outdoor supply people in the community or out in this part of the country really thought it would get off the ground. I don't think that they really thought that it was going to be of this magnitude.
Yeah.
And I think now that they'll see that this next time, you know, that, hey, this is something, this is an honest effort to try to get these kids hunting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you know, and I think, you know, there was kids there that never hunted in a day in their life. And I mean, you would not believe, Ben, how many youth have messaged me and parents talking about hunting dogs. And to me and you, that's crucial to me and people like me and you.
Absolutely.
And man, these kids, young kids, come up to me, and you know, I had parents message me and text me and say, "Mr. Jimmy, how can I get my kid a hunting dog? They're wanting to hunt. You know, they saw these dogs, and man, they really want to be. They love hunting dogs, and you know, and that's really what we need. I mean, it's trying to get these kids to have the same passion that I had when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and that to me, I mean, it's just, you know, I can still remember the first coon hunt I went on just like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And man, and it just, I want these kids to experience that same thing.
Yep. No, and I think you did a fantastic job of sparking that interest in a lot of kids. And, you know, and there's a couple lucky kids that we got to hear from in this episode that got puppies. And, you know, I look forward to hearing from those kids down the road and seeing how they do. And, you know, I know a couple of them kids are really excited. So.
Yeah. And that's what, you know, that's what our goal was. And you know, when we really started out we were going to give away one coon hound puppy.
Yeah.
And man, before I knew it, it worked into a mountain cur squirrel dog puppy and then 3 coon hounds.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and I could have gave more away.
Yeah.
But you know, but when you're doing that, you can't just say bring puppies because you want to make sure they get into the right hands.
Exactly.
And that took a lot of time, you know, and there was a lot of kids that I talked to and a lot of kids that got in contact with me that there were some that I wasn't able to get a dog in time, you know, but, you know, we'll continue to work, and, you know, in the next few weeks we might get something that they, you know, be able to get them a pup, and that's what we hope to do.
Nice. Yep. So do you, you know, you said the date next year is November 1st, but anything else you want to talk about for next year?
Well, next year we're going to have we're going to expand. We're going to have a turkey hunting, turkey calling contest with calls, and then we're going to have a duck calling contest, and we're going to have a panel of judges that's going to blindly listen and grade these kids, and then we're going to give away. We're going to name us a first place. What I would like to do is give a first place to different age categories, and then the final winner will be crowned the champion of the event.
Nice.
For 2025, and, you know, win a nice trophy and a custom call and that kind of thing. So, you know, and we're going to hold at that event. We're going to do and show the kids how to set a trap set down on the creek, and, you know, we'll not leave it overnight, but, you know, just show them how to set it and cover it up and different things. And then we're going to try to get the coon hunting side in. We you know, I really had intentions of covering more of the coon dog stuff, but man, there was just so much going on that.
Oh, there was.
That Yeah, and I just couldn't get it all in one day. I mean, we had so many prizes to give away. We had to kind of cut our speakers short to make sure we gave all the prizes away.
Yep. Well, Mr. Jimmy, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me tonight, and just thank you for such a great event.
Yes, sir.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tree Talking Media. And until next time, keep them talking in the timber.